I'm like
So
barely in frame.
I know. I moved the camera.
There we go. Perfect.
Perfect. Don't make that sign, dude. That's a racist symbol. Bro, I can't believe people believe that shit. Did you not play that game?
All the time. Like,
I'm assuming in the military all the fucking time.
oh yeah.
Like you'd be like, "Hey man, look at that," and then they go, "Oh," and then you go, "Bam," and you punch them. Like
Yeah.
that was the whole game. There was an argument on Twitter. This guy was like, "I'm sure that might have happened in some places, but this is really a racist symbol." No, dude,
It's not.
That was a game. Every
anything-
guy I know played that.
If
game.
anything, you also look at like American Sign Language. So ASL.
Yeah.
You know what this means? In ASL?
Asshole.
Asshole.
You an asshole. Right, and that was the whole thing. It was like you looked at an asshole. If anything, this is
Right.
homophobic, not racist.
Right. Bum, bum.
Good morning, Jax.
Gay.
Okay. Remember, what was it? Hey, you held the door open for me. You must be gay. Why did we come to that logic point? How did we make
And
that?
then there's the one guy on everywhere, social media.
Okay.
Men can have sex with other men and not be gay.
Yeah, and not be gay. Right. Yeah. That dude. He's like in the gym too, right? You're talking about that guy, right?
Yeah.
It's like in the gym or something.
Yeah. I thought that was satire.
I did too.
It's not.
It's not satire.
It's not
Because then
satire.
TikTok showed you with the 9 million stitches that came through your For You page.
Right.
No, he was serious because they must have watched the whole video.
Yeah. I'm like, huh?
Oh, haha.
What?
That one just, it gets me.
It gets you?
It goes into my,
Because it's your. Hello, Jackie. Jackie broke her phone yesterday.
I'm sorry. Yeah, like this. Isn't that Scout's honor? Isn't that like the equivalent of like Scout's honor, right?
Is now a sign of white supremacy.
Right.
I can't even do that because where I broke my hand.
Yeah, but that was, I think that's what they did, right? Because didn't they go like this? Like,
yeah,
wasn't
they're
that
like
their-
this. They're like,
Isn't that the Heil Hitler thing?
No, that was this way.
Yeah, they kind of do it like this, like out
They
like
don't.
this.
They're holding it more up. I can't even do it because of my fucking hand, dude.
You're not.
I can do it
got
with this
duct tape.
hand. There we go.
There you go.
They
Yeah,
did it like
so
this
weird.
way, not
So
that
weird.
way.
But no, I saw something on TikTok the other day. I was going to ask you about it, see if
Oh,
you had the
God.
same feeling.
Was it the Jello going into the grinder?
No, that was funny. I went, yeah, got him.
That's such a good one.
So I have had this, I don't know how to label it.
Oh God.
This, I guess you could call it anxiety. I really call it static noise without the noise. Over the past like 2 years.
Yeah.
And it's like something's about to happen. I don't know what that something is. It's going to be big, and not just in my life, in a lot of people's lives. And it's like there's nothing I can do about it or prepare for it, but I know it's coming. And I don't know what it is.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna have to take a liberal stance here and say stop fear mongering.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Yeah. No, that would be everybody's stance. As long as it's not their stance, it's the other
Right.
Republicans. Oh, fear mongering about global warming. And then, yeah. So anyway, but no,
Hilarious.
yeah. But I can't explain it. But there are a lot of people that are saying that they have the same feeling and they've never had it before. I've never had this feeling before. Like something's about to happen.
Yeah, from like a military hypervigilance standpoint, I definitely feel like over the past couple of years something is preparing to go down.
Yeah, it's like, and I don't know if it's going to be this June 1st alien.
Bro, I hope aliens come to this fucking planet.
Well, no, so you know what's going on, right?
No.
So the
You said aliens. I'm
Okay.
thinking, come on.
2014, 2006. So 2006 was off the East Coast. 2014 was off the West Coast. There's like naval carriers, Tic Tac shaped objects hovering over.
Oh yeah.
Then there was a flyer. This was just on 60 Minutes last week. There was two pilots that go on record explaining how there was this thing under the surface of the water in the ocean, and they were looking at it, and as they circled it, it came up out of the water and then did the exact same pattern but opposite as they were spiraling down to try and get a closer look. And then right when they got to about this point, it was gone, just disappeared. Both pilots attest to this on record. They were on 60 Minutes giving interviews. Craziness, right?
That's pretty wild.
So when they went to Congress, a bunch of Congress people, both Republicans and Democrats, were like, we need to know what this is. And it needs to be explained.
Yeah.
And the government basically has said, it's not us and it's not China. We don't know what it is. And full
Russia
details.
doesn't have the tech.
No way. No way. But keep in mind too, this is also almost 10 years ago that this stuff was being installed.
Right.
So like the jump in technology even from now is pretty astronomical, right? So long story short,
yeah, like 25 years worth of tech in 5 years.
But this is tech that, like, the other stuff, like the stuff that happened in San Diego, is like the Tic Tac went from 5 feet above the water to extra atmosphere, like out of our atmosphere in seconds. So like, and there's no,
so
like when they're observing these things, there's no fuel markers, there's no exhaust, there's no anything. They don't know, right? So, but anyway, so all these senators,
the anglerfish,
petitioned, and they did this type of freedom of, or this, not freedom of information, because that's like civilians can do that. There's like some kind of way that Congress can say, we need this information, all of it. And that dump is supposed to happen on the 1st.
Nice.
Or the 10th. I can't remember if it's the 1st of June or the 10th of June. I just know there's a 1 in the number. So it's either 1 or 11 or 10, right?
Fantastic.
But basically,
it sounds like you got your information from Congress.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but people keep saying the 1st of the month. So I don't know if that's
going to happen. I talked to a doctor. He said it could be any day.
Sunlight and bleach in your veins.
It could be any day with a 1. I'm not sure.
Hey, Josh. This morning. But yeah, so, but it's hard to explain, but it's like that itch in the back of your neck, like you just know something's about. It's like when you're in a situation and you know a fight's about to break out. Like you can tell there's like tension in the air and like shit's about that feeling, right? Yeah. But it's permanent.
You're
and
like,
it won't go the fuck away, and it's driving me nuts because like because that feeling's great in a short amount because then the thing happens.
Yeah.
But when that feeling is on you constantly every day and you wake up and when you go to bed and you just feel this like, man, something's going to happen. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that feeling is like, yes.
Yes, but being like, yes.
This guy's going to get hit in the face.
Yeah.
And then he's like, fuck you. Bang, gets hit in the face. And you're like, yes. Yeah. That was great. He got hit in the face.
And I guess the best thing I can equate that to is that feeling.
I teach grammar at night. I like it a lot every time. Yes.
I would equate that feeling of waiting for that guy to get punched in the face to like right before you come.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, you know, it's coming, baby. That beautiful feeling. And but the thing is it'd be terrible to always be in the feeling of it's coming and it never comes. Right. So like blue balls. Right? It's like living blue balls, and it's not sexual. Yeah, so it's terrible. But anyway, I don't know what it is, and I just wonder if other people are feeling it and are because it could be something as crazy as like
Josh has been feeling it for a very long time.
Sheesh. Anyway. Oh, we are TikTok nerds, dude. But anyway, so the point is, I just don't know what it is. I was curious if other people are having that feeling. I don't know if it's political. I don't know if it's, a spiritual thing that, no one understands or anything. I don't know. It's just weird. Just the whole sentiment.
Whose spirit would it be?
I don't know. So I'm saying is it just feels it feels metaphysical in a way, but I just couldn't explain it as it could be aliens.
It's aliens.
That's what I'm saying. It could be aliens. Well, and so the thing is like this information has already been broadcast on 60 Minutes. There's a huge 60-minute interview about it last week. You've got people on the news, people from the military being like, yeah, we don't know. And they explain that there's a UFO, which there's a lot of stuff that's UFO. It
Right.
could be a Russian plane. It's just unidentified. We don't know it's Russian,
What
right?
if it's an 8-year-old on a hoverboard?
Right. Oh, well, that'd be crazy. But there's what they call UAP, which are unexplained aerial phenomenon, and that's what
Right.
they're using now. That's what all of these are being listed as.
Right.
So we don't know how it does what it does, right? That's scary because let's say it's us. Well, it's scary that we have that kind of technology.
Yeah.
Let's say it's not us and it's China.
I mean, it's like the
That's-
difference between a UXO and a UIO, right?
what's that?
A UXO is an unexploded ordnance.
Right.
A UIO is an unidentified ordinance, and you're like, ah,
Oh, right. Yes.
that's great.
Right. Yeah. You don't know if it's a mustard gas or if it's a whatever it is.
or a
right.
nuclear warhead. It
Right.
could be
You don't.
anything.
Yeah. You don't know. It's a pretty big range, right?
Right.
Yeah. So the point is that we don't. And the thing is, those. But if you look at it statistically, most likely it's not China. Most
Right.
likely it's not Russia. Most likely it's not the United States. So the
I would
only
say,
thing.
I would say, beyond the shadow of a doubt, it's not Japan.
Well, right, that's what I'm saying. So the world
Yeah.
powers right now, like the three most technologically advanced countries, are Russia, China, and the United States. Those are the three countries
Right.
that are running and what I mean is like weaponization.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
for
like
sure.
pushing for like military presence.
Yeah.
So if none of us are like, because the other thing is let's say it was China.
Right.
China, you would think would be like, yeah, it's us. You know what I mean? Because they'd be like,
Right.
yeah, we're stronger
Like, oh
than
yeah,
you.
we were testing out some
Right.
stuff.
Yeah, we're stronger than you.
And
You know what I mean?
And Putin would be like, "That's mine."
Exactly. Putin would definitely be. So the
He'd be
thing
like,
is,
"Why the fuck?" He's on a loudspeaker on the Tic Tac. Hey, get away from my robots! I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is
yeah, like
that?
a little scream with Putin just like sitting in his suit.
It's
just
a
comes
hologram.
down.
He just.
Yep. So my point is,
I will not die on the Russian space station.
yes, but the thing is that they're small too. These Tic Tacs aren't like large enough for humans.
To sit in.
So they've also, I mean, based on all understanding of physics and knowledge that we have, no human would survive how they fly anyway.
Right.
Because you don't go from here to 780 miles an hour. You can't do that. Humans
Yeah.
can't do that. Our
No.
body's like all the blood goes out of your head, you die. Right? Like there's
Right.
like our air pilots or our pilots, and they have like stuff that's literally pushing blood out of their
Yeah.
legs into their body, right? So it's like we don't have the tech really to handle those G forces, right? I don't.
Dude, that would be crazy though.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So what if we have been leading up to and all this crazy shit that's had us going nuts is like a lead up to the aliens being like, we're gonna come help you. You guys are fucked right now, right? Like you're
That
in
would be
turmoil.
so cool.
It would be cool and terrifying at the same time. But there was a funny
As
comic.
long as they're not lizard aliens, I'm fine.
Right. There was a funny comic that showed the aliens coming down, and they're like, "We have come and we have taken over all of your governments," and all the people are like, "Yay!" And then they're like, "Wait, what?" Because they expect us to be resistant to it, and we're like, "No, yeah, hell
No,
yeah,
dude,
you know,
hey,
yeah,
please, thank you.
please, thank you, that'd be great." Yeah. So I think that we're at that point, but I
We're
don't
taking
know.
over all of your idiots. Thank you.
Yeah, cool,
Appreciate it.
great. Yeah, I would love to see. You know the movie Mars Attacks?
Yeah.
When he goes into like Congress and like the international thing and then he just melts everybody in there, I'm like, I'd be okay with that. And most people be like, yeah.
How about that?
Yep.
How about that? How about that one? That would be nice.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm getting hit, bro.
Hit with what?
IBS.
Oh.
I might have to take a second. But,
Ha ha ha. Take a second, bud.
oh yeah. I'll be right back. Line up on what we're going to talk about.
I will entertain the peoples. Hello, people. It's me. I'm going to do my best to enunciate all of my words. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. So we have a couple of good topics today. We're going to talk about fuck, my brain just left. Lost it. Oh, prominent BLM leader got arrested for some bad stuff. We're gonna talk about that. There's something that Nos wanted to talk about that I don't remember. He didn't tell me everything about it, so that's fine. Yeah, right, that's my brain right now. We already talked about UFOs a little bit. I don't know. What do y'all want to talk about? What's happening in the news right now that y'all want to hear us talk about? We'll do no prep. Just find a topic and we'll just talk about it, whether we know anything about it or not. That's how podcasts work, right? I haven't seen any pro Texas stuff in chat. Josh, are you actually working today? Hello. Ooh. It's actually times like this when I wish I could pull up like right here in the middle, like a small little TikTok window. Just be like, this is what I watch on TikTok, people. Haha. Because that would be funny. Y'all could see all of the dumb shit that I watch on TikTok. Do 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 do. Boop. Bop 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 bop. Hurry up! He says it's IBS, but we know he had Taco Bell before I came here. It's all them fucking olives that you ate. So, okay. This is just a random topic. Nost and I talk on the phone before I get here because I live about 35 minutes away. And I call him this morning, and the first thing he says to me is, bro, I just ate a whole jar of olives. Who the fuck just eats a whole jar of olives? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me at all. Like, for one, they're olives. They're a topping for things or like a garnishment. They're not a whole meal. Second, they taste like goddamn dirt. Like, straight up, they just taste like dirt. There's nothing, there's no flavor. It's gross. It's the grossest. Does anybody else eat olives like that? I don't think so. Oh, guys, look, I shaved off my head. I'm a baldy man. You eat olives just out of the jar like that, though? Like, oh shit, there's a big ass bug in here. Get out of here, bug. Okay, he's in the light now. Pro tip, don't die. Yeah. Pro tip, don't die. What's up, Angel? He's just up there. Hey, fuck you. Stop flying down here. See, I don't know that I can barely eat an olive in something or on something, much less eat an olive out of the jar. Like, I don't even like the smell of olives, to be honest. You're tired but doing good? Nice. Nice. What are you tired for? You have a job? Where you actually work? I don't. Tired from being tired? I feel that. I feel that. Now you want some green olives? Gross. Why? What is the red thing that they put in the middle of green olives? Is it like a peppercorn or some shit? Because they're good. They're not good. They're gross. They taste like dirt. Like, I would rather take a clump of like topsoil and put it in my face than eat an olive. Beets do taste like dirt. Yes, they do. Facts. But who the fuck eats beets? Besides Dwight Schrute. Dirt tastes like dirt. Dirt tastes good.
Except olives, apparently.
No, it tastes like bad dirt.
Oh, Jesus. IBS sucks. Okay, so what did you determine we're going to talk about?
T loves beets. That's weird.
Beets are good.
Beets are not good.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Beets cold are good. Beets hot.
Bears eat beets.
Yeah.
Bears beets Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my gosh. All right, let me pull up the chat here. Sorry, everybody.
Angel says hello.
Hey, what's up? Did we turn that off?
What off?
Did you turn that off?
What off?
The air conditioner.
No.
I must have done that. Turn it on real quick.
Dumbass. I don't know.
Can you hear that?
No. I put a noise gate on the.
Yeah, sure. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that. So.
It was the big ass. Dude, there's a big ass bug in the light behind you.
Oh, it's a stink bug. Yeah, he's my buddy. He's been hanging out the
I don't
past
like
couple
him.
days. Yeah, he's awesome. Yes,
he's
last
not.
night while I was raiding, he was walking and he was chasing my cursor on the screen. It was great.
What a douche.
I was like, it was really fun.
No.
Yeah, stink
No.
bugs are awesome.
No,
he'll
they're
come in like while you're talking, like he'll just fly and
The
sit right
fuck
there,
he will.
and he'll just be like, "What's up?" Don't smash him, then he smells.
No, I'm gonna flick him across the room.
Then he's gonna fart as he goes.
That's fine.
I don't actually think I've ever actually seen them stink. Yeah, they're like some invasive species that was introduced. Some like when
Yeah.
we started doing a lot of stuff, more trade with China.
Yeah.
Came over from China or whatever, and they're like everywhere now. So it's just kind of like
Yeah.
part of life.
Angel said, let's burn the whole barn down. Franz brings the flamethrower.
Yeah, I mean, I would love for an insurance claim of entire party barn. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Like, man, there's electric ran out there. There was, an air conditioning and heating system.
$17,000 worth of electronics.
Yeah. And then I'm like, hey, cool. And then I've got, I build a new one and it's so much better and it's much better built. And I'd have an actual mini pump on it or a mini split system on it. So I'd have better air conditioning and heating.
Yeah.
I'd just do the whole shadoobie.
Shadoobie?
I'd basically keep the foundation. Like, that's what I would do. I just go from there. Anyway, so we were going to talk about Hamas and gay people.
Yeah.
So I think that this is probably my favorite one. I want to talk about it first.
Hamas and the gay people.
Yeah. So
So let's get some ones in chat.
Ones in chat.
If you do remember, twos in chat if you don't remember. Back in 2012, 2013-ish, Hamas in Palestine hogtied a dude and threw him off the top of a building to kill him and execute him publicly.
Because he was
having an inappropriate relationship with another man. Not even that he was gay.
right.
He just had a relationship they did not approve of.
Oh, so they weren't even actually doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that we know of.
That we know of.
And that's like how they glossed over it.
Yeah.
So ones in chat if you remember it, twos if you don't.
So, yeah. So he was having an inappropriate relationship.
Right. Right. And Hamas executed him probably without trial.
Without trial.
Right.
By hog tying him and throwing him off a building.
Yeah. Because he was close to another man.
Yeah.
3 for back in the head. Okay, so.
Right.
So.
It's in there.
For those of you who are literally under a rock, Israel and Palestine are going
fucking at it
to town right now at each other. Right now, I would argue that Israel's winning a lot better because they've got the Iron Dome and they're pretty good.
Have you seen some of the fucking footage from the rockets getting shot down?
Yeah, there was a TikTok.
I love it.
With these 3 women laying down in a parking lot, and they're like laughing because they're so nervous. And they're like, and then she like holds her phone up, and you look up, and you literally see one of the missiles like coming in, and then it just goes poof, like in the air. Like it's pretty neat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's neat to see a system working, but it's not neat what's going on, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that.
But yeah, but basically, there's basically like two factions somehow growing in the United States. I don't know how there's two factions, but that's what we do here. We just take everything and we go
And we divide it
black
into-
and white.
Yeah.
You're either on that side or that side. And
one of the factions is for Israel.
is for Israel and one's for Palestine.
And one's for Palestine.
right?
The weird part to me, the people who are backing Palestine are the gay community.
Right. And not just like,
What?
it's not, how do I say this? So this will
It's
go into
not
a
the
different
whole gay
issue.
community.
Right. But there's a lot of gay people who are holding up signs for
Right.
Hamas, like even for Hamas.
Like, yeah. Like hanging Hamas flags in George Floyd Square.
Which is, by the way, classified as a terrorist organization by the United States.
By the United Nations.
By the United Nations, not just the United
Not
States.
just the United States.
Nations.
By the United Nations.
Right.
Hamas is a terrorist organization.
Right. And we
What?
have people in our country supporting it, including some new news organizations. But specifically, the reason that we want to talk about gay people is because gay people are holding up a sign for a group of people that if we were to send them there, all expenses paid,
Yeah.
so that they could go
Support-
protest in
they
support
can
of them,
support Hamas.
they would be dead
Immediately.
in Hamas. They'd be
Yeah.
like, cool, are you gay? Cool, you're dead. That's how it will go.
Yeah.
That's the whole
They're
conversation.
like, oh, your hair is purple. Dead.
Dead, right, because you're most likely gay because
Yeah,
your hair's purple.
Because your
right.
hair's purple.
Like, and they're
Like,
supporting
oh,
it.
you have piercings all over your head. You're most likely gay. Fucking kill him.
Right, yeah. And that's crazy. And it's like, I don't,
Death or death, you choose.
I heard something said the other day about how Republicans are kind of like a hodgepodge of people that have like somewhat unifying beliefs, but there's a lot of wiggle room.
Isn't
Like,
there
there's-
what we should be?
I would agree. I mean, all Americans should be, right? But like
Yeah.
as a party, what I mean is like by a party where you have like a platform that the party runs on.
Oh, yes.
Like the Republican Party is not really solid. Like they don't have like a solid platform that like you either follow it or you're out.
Right.
So like you've got pro-life and pro-choice Republicans,
But I feel like,
but to be a Democrat, you have to be pro-choice. See what I'm saying? Like there's a difference there of like with Republicans,
Right.
like you can meet a Republican that like votes for Trump, but he's pro-choice, or he or she is pro-choice, right?
right.
But in the Democratic Party, if you were to come out and be like, you know, I voted for Biden, but I'm pro-life, they'd be like, you're not a Democrat. Like that's what they'll say, right? Like, and so,
But I feel like even in a two-party system, right, is like if the Republican Party has that ability to, like, hey, I'm still a Republican, but and I'm not. I don't give a fuck
Right,
either way.
yeah.
But like, hey, I'm a Republican, but I'm still pro-choice, and they're accepting of that. Like, why is that a bad thing?
Well, no, it's not. That's what I'm saying. It's like, so, but what I'm going at with this Hamas thing
Yeah.
is like, because the party is so, it's actually contradictory because the Democratic Party is so like rigid in its ideology.
Oh,
like
yes.
you have to follow this or you're not a part of it.
For sure.
You now have gay people who are part of that party, right? Because they're
Right.
gay and they fight for their rights and their oppression.
Right.
So like, oh, well, we have to be a part of this club. That they're now supporting another thing that the Democratic Party is supporting, which is another group of people who want them dead.
Right.
But in order to like keep their democratic status and like keep their democratic friends,
Right.
they have to support a group that is literally racist
Out to kill them.
and out to kill anyone who is not
Right.
cis-normative, as they would say.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It doesn't make any sense.
I feel bad because the thing is you're trying to explain to them that they're stupid. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to walk up to them and be like, listen, I know your intentions are good, but you're really dumb.
Right. Like, I have seen the terrible. You don't want the terrible.
Right.
I am a straight white man. I don't want that terrible.
Right. And like I said on the phone earlier, the most extreme conservative that's like against gay marriage.
Right. He's just going to yell at you.
He's going to yell at you and tell you that you're going to go to hell because you had sex with a dude.
Right.
A guy from Hamas probably will just cut your throat.
Yeah. Or
he won't even talk. He'll shoot you. Yeah. He'll just go right up to you because he doesn't care.
I would venture to guess, unless they're making a statement, like the guy on the roof where they just threw him off, which that takes little to no effort. He's already hogtied. Just throw him off the roof.
Right. Yep.
They're most likely just going to shoot you because they don't want to waste their energy.
Right.
On you.
Right. And what I'm saying is that I don't. I'm trying to think of a group of people that would want me dead. I mean, Hamas would want me dead.
Taliban
would want me dead.
Absolutely.
Right? I won't support them just because I feel like someone else is exerting abundant amounts of authority on them.
Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Dead.
Right. Yeah, that's how they view. And yeah. It's like, so like all of these caricatures that they've built up in the United States about like homophobic people.
Yeah.
Pale in comparison to the real world outside of the United States and in mostly the majority of the Middle East.
Right.
Any majority Muslim country right now majority Muslim countries believe that a woman should be stoned because she was raped.
Right.
This is not like a slight disagreement in like beliefs of countries. Right. This is like a very large valley between United States and Western thought and Eastern thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I don't want to say Eastern thought. I want to say like specifically extremist Islamic Mid-Eastern
extremist thought.
Right. It's like an extremist thought.
Well, I mean, it's like going off of this, right? You talk also about oppression.
Right.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Okay.
Oppression in the United States has not existed in a very long time.
What do you mean? Elaborate. I'm going to have you keep
elaborating.
I'm going to say
100 years.
Of what? Oppression of who?
Of most people.
What about black people?
What about them? Let's talk about the oppression of black people, right?
Okay. Jim Crow.
The 60s.
Yes.
Right? Massive oppression, right?
Right.
Segregation. There were still like remnants in the South of slavery. They can say there wasn't. There fucking was.
Right. Yeah, but that was in the past 100 years.
The 60s was
60 years ago. What?
80 years ago.
60 plus 60 is 120. You follow me? 40 years to the year 2000 from 1960.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 60 years.
Never mind. Math is hard.
Yeah. So it's not 2041, Matt.
I'm already living in the alien future, okay?
Right, yes. Yeah. Right.
That was what the bug was.
Right.
It flew down.
So we've definitely had it within the past 100 years.
In the past 100 years. Let's say the past 50 years.
Gay people were beaten alleys heavily in the 80s.
Right.
Which is past 50.
But in the past, let's say since I've been alive, 30
Sure, 30 years. Right, okay.
Things have shifted so far to where no one is really oppressed.
Right. Depends on who you talk to, but I would agree for the majority.
For the majority of things.
Right.
No one is oppressed. Right. In America, we have the best system, the absolute best system for support of people who aren't white.
Yeah.
In America.
Right. And in a lot of ways, though, it's also rooted in racism. But go ahead.
It is somewhat, but.
Right. We could talk about something else that's going on, too.
It's like reverse racism. Like, hey.
Yes.
Like, hey, I'm going to give you affirmative action because you're a black person.
Right. But not because you're white. And not because you are white. And not because you're white, yes.
Yeah. But then you look at the rest of the world, where let's look at even Africa.
Uh-huh.
If you are not the correct shade of black.
Right.
And you don't fit in with their mold, you get beaten, stoned, put into slavery. They're selling their own people into slavery.
Right. Yep.
You look into the Middle East.
Right.
They're like, I'm going to bury you in the sand up to your head. and then throw rocks at you until you die. Not accurately.
Right.
It's more terrifying than it is fucking actual death.
Right.
Because, I don't know, you like penis.
Right. Yep. As a guy.
As a guy.
Right.
As a guy, you like penis.
Right. We are, and that doesn't mean that there's not more ways to improve, and there's not.
And I'm not saying
systems
that.
in
There
place,
are definitely places where we could improve.
And I actually am not against the idea and concept of helping communities, like, for instance, the Japanese. Like, we had them internment camps. We ruined a lot of lives.
Right.
Like, compensating the descendants, like, forms of reparations for their kids because we basically fucked their grandfather out of a livelihood. Because that would be, like, my generation. Like, there might be a kid who is still kind of impoverished because the United States government decided that it was a good idea to take people of a certain race and put them in camps.
Yeah.
Right. So, like, the point is, it's weird, right? It's weird, but we have come a long ways. And I think that I would agree with that for the most part. I think that people that act like there aren't still fallout and issues from those things.
Oh no, there definitely are.
I mean,
let's look at a coal mining community where I grew up, right? Predominantly coal mining communities back in the early 30s and 20s and things. They were Irish communities. They were Irish and Scot and like Middle European communities.
Right.
Because that's the only jobs that were available to those people. Like, you're going to go underground. You're going to inhale rock dust.
Right. And you're going to die early.
Die early.
Right.
Yep. Those communities, because of that impoverished state that they were put in initially, and then they were with the big man's foot on the neck, those communities still suffer.
Correct. Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. Like the whole Appalachian Trail basically is just.
They still suffer to this day.
Right.
Right. There are a select few that own every goddamn thing over there.
Right.
Who are billionaires.
Right. And they've got a community that helps support them to remain billionaires, and they don't do anything for them.
And they don't do anything for them.
Right. And they're white people predominantly.
Yeah.
Because they're usually Irish and Scottish descendants. Right.
Right.
So we have issues that we're still dealing with, right? And there's things that we need to address as a country. There's things that we need to do.
But we're nowhere on the same level.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you rewind.
As let's say Ghana, for instance. That's a country you don't hear a whole lot about.
Right.
Those motherfuckers will spear you to death.
Right.
Because you ate too much food.
Right. Yeah.
What?
Well, and then there was like that one guy that like went to that one, I can't remember what country it was. He was like a missionary and he got murdered just because he was a Christian. Like as soon as he stepped foot, they're like, "Are you a Christian?" And he was like, "Yes." And they went, and he was dead, like on the spot.
Yep.
I mean, that kind of stuff happens.
Yeah.
And it's like, we live in a relatively free place.
Yeah.
I would say. And the thing that also kind of frustrates me is that we hear all the time that we don't. Like we live in some crazy place.
Right.
But yeah, I go into like, you know, we go to lunch and we go to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
When I'm in that Taco Bell, last time we were there, there's a couple black people behind the counter. One guy that was kind of like you have no idea. He's some kind of a mixture of, you know, everything. And then there's a Mexican guy next to us taking an order of Taco Bell, which was hilarious.
Absolutely.
And then there's a white guy, there's a black guy getting food there. No one's arguing. Nobody's being mean. Everybody's being respectful. Everybody's being friendly to each other. Like, I didn't feel like it was some kind of, I didn't even feel like it was like a forced fake nice.
Right.
Everybody was just being nice to each other. We're just living life, getting some Taco Bell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just don't.
I mean, I went to refill my drink and dude was trying to walk past me to get some sauce. And he was like, "Hey, excuse me, dude."
Pardon me. That's what I'm saying. Like, so I don't really feel like it's necessarily a real reflection of it. I don't feel like we're in some kind of like hyper combative state.
Right.
Where people are mad.
When's the last time? I'm just going to throw this out there. When is the last time you heard of a protest in China?
Well, we had video footage of one. I mean, we can't even. I don't even think we can actually mention it on YouTube. I think they'll delete the video. The place that's a square. Yes. The place that's like a shape.
Yeah.
I don't even think you can say that because I think the algorithm will kick it out.
You cannot.
Because of Chinese interest. On YouTube.
System of a Down. Right? They made a song where they mentioned it.
Yes.
And they had to fight for years to get it to stay up on YouTube.
Yeah.
Years.
Yeah.
Bruh.
That's crazy.
What?
Right. I mean, like, Well, look at no. Do you remember? No, there was a protest. 2020 was COVID, right? 2019. Yes. 2019, dude. There's huge, massive, not just little, massive protests over Hong Kong in China.
Oh, because
massive, because they were trying to do the they were trying to make it so that Hong Kong would have to deport citizens who were contradicting the Communist Party, the CCP.
Oh,
it was huge, and it passed, and protests erupted like crazy in China and in Hong Kong. It was crazy. It was like a huge, massive thing. It was
but
like
Hong
crazy.
Kong's not really China.
It is. Well, it's British owned, and then China took it back, and so China, and they want to stay autonomous. Hong Kong.
I thought that
Oh, dude.
So looking at the map, I thought Hong Kong was just Hong Kong.
It's an island off of China.
Yeah,
it was part of original
China.
China.
Everywhere else, like when you look at the map,
yeah,
everywhere else in China says like this place China.
Guangzhou.
When you look at Hong Kong, it says Hong Kong, Hong Kong.
Correct, because it was British occupied Chinese territory that was taken during World War II.
Yeah.
Right, and then they wanted to remain autonomous, but China's like, no.
Nah.
Right, because it's China.
When was the last time you heard of a protest in Russia?
Last one I remember is 2016 with was it Georgia or not Georgia? Was it the Ukraine?
It was the Ukraine.
Where there was like, remember there was like days of like the military and like these people were like throwing like Molotov cocktails and stuff like across like a huge, awesome like protest.
So we look at these protests that happened over there several years ago.
Right, yeah.
Because let's face it, a lot of those people died.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they either died or they
got arrested and then disappeared. Right, yeah.
Now let's look at America. When's the last time you saw a protest in America? Yesterday?
Every day. Yeah.
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 Day before yesterday?
Right.
6 days ago?
Yep.
I don't know. Every day since George Floyd. How many of those people, yes, we've tear gassed them. Yes, they've been fucking.
But if they're peaceful and they follow our process in our country, we don't do anything.
But if they're peaceful and they're not trying to burn down businesses, that doesn't happen.
Correct. We let neo-Nazis and white supremacists have parades.
Have a fucking. This pissed me off more than anything in the world, but I can't say anything about it because they're extremely peaceful about it. Right? Dayton, Ohio.
Uh-huh.
We had two groups of people. Pow. One of them sanctioned by the state of Ohio because they put in all of their paperwork.
Right.
Was the KKK and the neo-Nazis.
Right. Yes. Right.
They went in and they were having a peaceful protest. I can't even remember to what.
Well, I mean, whites are cool. Everyone else is bad. That's kind of the gist.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I want to wear my sheets to Walmart.
Right. I want to dress up in a costume today.
Right. I'm a ghost. Boo. Anyway, we have them protesting, and this didn't really make a lot of national news or anything because nothing happened.
Right.
Right? The other group, anti-everything racist.
Right.
Show up. I was there. I was part of that. I don't give a fuck. I'll say it. I stand up against racism. Fuck them guys.
Racism's done. Yeah. It's done.
Like, that shit's stupid.
Yeah.
But we all standing out there. My tattoo artist guy friend is out there. We're all just standing there like racism.
I was drunk when we were doing it.
Racism is stupid.
Yes.
And we're just like, that was one of the biggest chants. Racism is stupid.
Right.
But nothing happened. We both got to fucking protest.
Right.
We both got to speak our minds. Everybody got to do whatever they wanted to do in a peaceful fashion. Nobody got murdered because they looked up against the government.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Because that's America, and that's what makes America a great place to live.
Yeah.
Because we also want the racists out in the open so that we know who they are.
Do you know what's also crazy about that protest?
What?
I'm going to venture to guess, because I know for a fact on our side of that protest, there are a lot of people with guns.
Oh, right. Yeah.
A lot of people with guns.
Right.
I'm going to guess on the racist side, they had a bunch of guns too.
Right. Yep. And didn't go all out.
And guess who didn't get any, no shots?
Right.
No, because peacefulness.
Right. That was, to me, when I was in elementary school, that was literally taught to me. that the reason that our country is so great is that even the people that we detest deserve the freedom to speak.
Right.
We believe that it is regardless of what you thought of this phrase, a God-given right, a human inalienable right, to have your own religion, to have your own speech.
Right.
And the purpose of the Constitution is to protect a right that is naturally part of existing as opposed to provided by the government. That's a huge difference in thought.
Yeah.
The government doesn't give us freedom.
We have
freedom. We protect freedom.
Yes.
That's what we do. That's the American ideal that I think is admirable about the United States. But I don't like Nazis.
I don't either.
But I want to know who's a Nazi.
Oh, absolutely.
So he should be able to go out on the road, or she should be able to go out on the road and say, hey, I'm a dipshit in my language.
Yeah.
I'm a dipshit. I think that white people are supreme.
Mer.
Right. Yeah. They took her germs,
right.
From South Park, right? Like
I'm a Nazi. Like that guy's a Nazi. Cool.
Yeah, I want to know that.
Don't hang out with that guy.
Yeah, exactly. Because also as a person who might want to employ someone, I don't want to employ someone who's a white supremacist, and I would love to see that video evidence of him.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I would like for them to take race off of applications for everything.
Oh, I agree. But
let's change that out for what political fucking affiliation do you stand with? Are you white supremacist?
Right.
Are you this?
Yeah. Like, do you have like a survey?
Because there's a certain one of those I don't want here.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, so it's actually, I don't think the person's name, the person's gender, or the person's race should be visible to an employer.
Absolutely.
Because names can give away.
I think age only matters.
I don't even know about that.
If the job is not something that would be age appropriate.
Oh, right. Like the other way. Like if you're working at a titty club or something, you don't want like a 16-year-old applying to work at a titty club.
I don't want an 80-year-old man applying for a job and me give him the job blindly where I'm going to be digging ditches all fucking day.
Right, but what if there's an 80-year-old that can do all of those things?
I still don't want him there.
All right, sure. There's liabilities, right?
Yeah.
So I think that the way it's kind of the way I look at it is like the military has like its requirements for people's physical body shape.
Right.
Like that could be a requirement for a job, but I would argue that age could be a problem too, because what if you've got like you're going to pressure your hiring down to 18-year-olds and then
I was able to drink my coffee through the titty club comment. I have no idea. Hawkeye said a majority of people in the city he lives in are peaceful in that matter. In the racist matter? Or just in general, like protesting?
Oh man, my chat broke and I don't know what it's been saying. But yeah, no. So, and just so we'll stay on this topic of like contradictory racism and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There is actually, it was I think yesterday, some federal judge stated that some of Biden's policies are actually racist because they state that they'll only work with non-whites. So I don't know if you heard about that governor or whatever in Chicago that said that they were only going to work with reporters that were black.
I did.
Okay, so like you have a ton of different things that are happening in our country right now that are basically saying, if you're a white man, I'm not going to help you. Oh, just that I'm a penis? Yes, that is true. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm penis. But yeah, so you've got countries that are countries. You have organizations that are literally saying, we will not loan money to your failing business because of COVID because you are white.
Which is ridiculous.
It's racist. It's literally racist.
It is racist,
right?
Yes. But it's also absolutely
it's just ridiculous. It is. And I would say the same thing if they said it to a black person. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Those same organizations that are helping black people are turning away Latinos, Mexicans, and all these different people. And now they're like, hey, that's racist.
Yeah.
The idea of intersectionality and the idea as power of power being, how do I say this? A sign of oppression.
Right.
and then trying to acquire said power and then oppressing is so ridiculously contradictory to me.
It's so asinine.
It's like, I don't understand. Like, so what's your goal? So you think that white men rule everything. So you're going to take that away from them. And then you're going to oppress white men.
Right.
Do you not see that you're literally you're culturally appropriating oppression from white men?
I'm sorry. That shit. Like, I can't help but laugh at that.
That's what they're doing, though. They're culturally appropriating oppression.
I can't help but laugh at it because it's fucking stupid.
It is. It's so dumb. I you know what? Honestly, as a white man, I will not stand for cultural appropriation
of my oppression.
You dicks! Clip that shit.
You can't have my oppression, you fucking turds.
Yeah. You can't take that from me. Now I'm going to go watch Netflix while you guys go out and protest. Thanks. That's white people in a fucking nutshell.
Bro.
I feel a little spicy right now.
I'll be on my Twitch channel.
I'll be on my Twitch channel to fucking no viewers. Okay, making no money. Okay, keep appropriating my fucking oppression, you piece of shit, and my racism. I mean, that's literally kind of how this conversation is going.
Yeah, it really is though. It's
white people are like.
So I actually thought about this fucking when we were talking about this. Just like it just popped in my head. There's a TikTok I saw the other day.
Okay.
And it was a stitch of somebody else that I follow. But the stitch that they made, this guy, he's a black dude. He literally says, "I know how we stop racism." And I'm like, okay, you got me. All right, I'm listening. He's like, what we do is we segregate everybody out so they have their own places to go.
Right. And everybody's like, oh yeah, that's not racist at all.
So many people in his comments were like, that's a great idea. What the fuck are you thinking?
Young Hiyasu, what do you mean, DN? What do you mean by DN? Is there something I'm missing there? Would you know what that means? If someone said opinions on DN?
I don't know.
If you could elaborate